Hello everybody, I'm KidDizzy, and in this series, we will be exploring 3 creepy and unnerving maps. These maps can range from popular to unheard, and I'd like to be the one to document them. These maps are quite the opposite of the typical jump-in-your-face horror map. Instead, these maps have more of an eerie silence atmosphere to them. As I've stated before in a previous video, I strongly believe that video games can't be haunted or have ghosts in them. What I do believe is that some maps can give you a mixed bag of feelings when exploring. Maybe it's the feeling of complete loneliness throughout the whole map. Almost like french fries from McDonald's, Garry's Mod maps come in 3 different sizes: small, medium, and large. A theory I have is the bigger the map increases the amount of dread one may feel when exploring such places, or maybe it's just me. One thing that makes the game so creepy is that Garry's Mod was made from the assets of Half-Life 2, and if you don't know, Half-Life 2 takes place in a fictional world that ends up getting taken over by these alien-like soldiers called the Combine. As you play, you will find out that Half-Life 2 is a very dark and grisly game. The game is a shooter, which makes it violent, but the most messed up part of the game is the concept of it all. I'm not going to sit here and explain Half-Life, so let's continue on. Everyone always talks about how scary a map is because it's haunted or apparently a ghost was seen, but you should already know that I don't believe that video games can be haunted. I do know that some maps on Garry's Mod bring some weird vibes, but I'm not exactly sure why. Maybe some of them come off as liminal space, which Garry's Mod is very good at, but for these 3 maps I can safely say that they're not liminal. Well, one of them kind of is. The maps I've chosen for today all follow a similar theme. They're all grim looking, time cycles at night, and all 3 maps I picked look like they belong in the industrial side of town. Before we start number 1, I would just like to say that I've been working on a video that will hopefully be out on Halloween, but it requires a lot of work, so I'm not exactly 100% sure when it will be out. But 2 hints I'll give you is it has to do with Garry's Mod, and it's an ARG. Also, I can now make community posts, which is where I will update my subscribers in between videos or ask random questions I think about throughout my day. If you would like to see more content of this style, please press like, and comment below if you have any map suggestions or creepy topics I could investigate. Enjoy. So the first map we will be looking at almost looks like an old Soviet apartment complex. If I go out the window, I will see other buildings that go on that look exactly the same, but it's mostly the colors and just the way the building looks that does it for me. When first playing the map, I spawned on the stairs and kept walking up and down on them, looking for a correct place to go, and then I had to go into NoClip to see where I was going, because I was stuck in the stairwell. I saw that a hallway was behind this door, so I decided to hop out of NoClip and normally walk through it. It looked like a normal apartment, that is until you see this doorway that's almost blocked by a fallen bookshelf. I crawled under it, and the first thing we see is a pretty big hole in the middle of the floor. Curious on where it goes, I jump down, and the first thing we're met with is a basement looking area surrounded by big pipes with the word hell painted on the wall. As you can see, all the hallways are super narrow. Whatever rooms there are, they're very small and practically useless. And to get around, you have to duck and make your way around this crowded mess. It looks strange, but why did somebody spend their time creating this? I like the idea, and I'm not hating on it, but I'm trying to find out why this was built. From spawn to the little hole in the room, all seems normal until you jump down that hole. Maybe it's supposed to act as a portal, seamlessly teleporting you to an unknown and disturbing location that was never there to begin with. Other than that, we just have this huge room filled with bright lights. It reminds me of a room you would have a boss battle in, but even then it doesn't make sense. Let's say, for example, we create our own Combine invasion. We can start in the stairwell and work our way through this room, but when we get to the basement, there's no room, or it's all close quarter combat to the point where it doesn't work properly or as it should. We get to the big boss room, which can work out because we can put our own NPC in there and there's enough room, but still everything else is just too crowded. I can't find any reason for this map to exist except for maybe filmmaking. I can't say for adventure purposes because it's just way too small. Takes all of 5 minutes to walk through, but I will play my exploration clip now without any commentary. I will do the same with the other two as well. As I stated earlier in the video, this map was created in a way to purposefully creep you out, but why is it so small? If the creator of this add-on just put a little bit more work into his map, I think it would have great potential, but the size of it also makes me question it more. I have nothing else to say or show you about this map. If you want to check it out, you can start by downloading the link in the description. This next map is called GM Memory, and it's another map that reminds me slightly of the Soviet Union era of architecture. I don't have any specific reasons except for the playground. It just seems like something you might see in a desolated part of Russia. When exploring, I can see that this area looks like it was left abandoned, and the air is filled with a heavy fog that almost looks like it has a red tint. This map reminds me of the movies and video game series Silent Hill. When exploring the outside, we can find a shed that has some blood and a few bones sitting in a pile. I don't know what happened here, but whatever did happen left this place in a broken mess. There's little candles all around that we can turn on and off. The reason and use for this is unknown. There's also an Easter egg in this map where if we shoot all the crows in the area, it will start to rain bodies from the sky. There's probably no secret lore behind this. It's probably just made to surprise users who were unexpecting it. Another Easter egg I found when exploring was if you go to this fence by the bus and no clip behind it and run towards the house, your ears will be greeted with this. One other thing that makes this map eerie is the radio that can be heard in the center of the map that plays some really weird music. Just like the last map review, these are one of the maps I've found that feel like they have no specific reason for being created except to creep you out. There's only a few buildings and not much here to explore or use. This map could be used for PvP and other fun game modes though. I would like to know the real reason this was created, but I don't think I'll find out. The only thing I think we can do is to theorize and move on to the exploration without commentary. Also, I wonder if these Easter eggs have an actual meaning, or is it all just a sequence of random events? Is the word doll supposed to mean anything? Why is there bones littered about everywhere? What's the reason for the raining bodies? And also the screams that could be heard around the map. I feel like I should be able to shrug this off, but something in me won't allow it. The creator of this map, DNTN, could have added any secrets he wanted, but he chose to have screaming people in the distance, blood and bones scattered all about, and raining dead bodies. All of which are dark and could have been to match the tone of the map, or maybe there could be a darker reason behind it. If you want to theorize or explore for yourself, all links will be below. Let's move on to the next one. This is probably the creepiest map on the list, and I chose it for a reason. When I went to the add-on subscription page and clicked on the name, it brings me to the map's description at the top and says, "You're at an abandoned warehouse at night. During thunderstorms, there's nobody around you, or maybe you just think so." The ambience of this map is actually really good. It's definitely not an eerie silence kind of map, since you have machines buzzing in your ear half the time, but it reminded me of the backrooms and the forever buzzing noise on floor 1. I felt like I was always hearing props moving and constantly spooking myself. No footsteps or anything like that, but maybe it was just because of the description the author gave me. Is something following the player when exploring? Keeping a watchful eye? When exploring, I learned that this map would be really nice for the game mode hide and seek, if you have a decent amount of players. When going to the map's discussion tab, we can see a few people stating that they have seen the shadow figures on this map, but others say it's not true. If we scroll down further, we can see someone post a video showing the shadow figure. It's a little hard to see, but this video only exists on Steam and won't let me access it on YouTube. But he ends up zooming in a little more and you can actually see the shadow figure at the top. While others want to say that they haven't seen anything or that he's not there, is a lie. A week ago, me and my buddy Adam played on this map, and we both saw the shadow figure standing on the same roof, but throughout this exploration, I didn't notice anything in particular. Maybe I missed something though. The creator of this definitely knows how to make a spooky map, and I give him props. Although I didn't see any ghosts, and even tried to run past the area to trigger it several times, but nothing happened. I know he's here though. I think this map is the best one out of all three, and one other reason why I like it is because when I was done exploring, I decided to no-clip around in case I missed anything. I ended up finding a secret lever that opened up a wall leading to a mysterious and gut-wrenching room. I walked in and saw torture devices, wooden crosses, and a pit of fire. A pentagram with a sacrifice laying in the middle, and an evil shadow figure chopping up bodies. What is this madness? Just kidding. The room has all these torture devices with a bunch of penises spray painted on the wall. That's it. Happy Halloween. Bye.